Welcome to the Kundalini Yoga Club. We are a podcast dedicated to bringing you the ancient practices of Tantra and Kundalini right to your ears. We will explore the ways these ancient practices can profoundly impact your life in such a positive way. Your life, your body, your mind, your soul, your energy, all of these wonderful things. So stay tuned. Here we go. Welcome. Today we'll talk about biofeedback, which is the waves of the brain. Meditation is neither sleep nor a hypnotic state. Meditation is becoming more mainstream, and psychologists and doctors are prescribing patients to start a meditation practice in order to observe their own inner functioning. This is a really great method to treat disease, as we can begin to observe the various functions in the body, from the organs to the brain itself. Just half an hour of meditation each morning can improve our mental functionality by bringing harmony and clarity to the mind. From a scientific point of view, we can look at meditation as biofeedback. This is the way that we measure and monitor electrical waves that are emitted from the brain, our brain waves. So what are brain waves? Well, basically, the brain is made up of billions of cells called neurons. There are countless connections between these individual cells and other cells, not just in our brain, but in our entire body. Nerve pulses continually travel along these neuron connections. So each neuron is made up of a central body, an axon, and various dendrites. So dendrites are kind of like little arms that come off them. The impulses are received by the axon, and the dendrites transmit these impulses to other neurons. The nerve impulses are only transmitted when an electrical charge is built up in the neuron. These pulses are the brain waves. So there's a distinct relationship between frequency, voltage, and the amplitude of the brainwave and the state of the individual. How do we measure this? How does this all work? So we use an EEG, which is an electroencephalograph. I'm sure I said that wrong, which measures brain waves of different frequencies within the brain. Electrodes are placed on specific sites of the scalp to detect and record the electrical impulses within the brain. So a frequency is the number of times a wave repeats itself within a second. So this is where we look at these different brain waves, to get this biofeedback. There are four main types of brain waves. So there's beta, alpha, theta, and delta. You might have heard of these before. So beta waves are the patterns which we generally emit in our day-to-day activities. These are things that we would use in our wakeful state with rational thinking, and it's a state that most of the brain is in when we have our eyes open and are listening and thinking during analytical problem solving, judgment, decision making, processing information about the world around us. These have high frequency with over 13 cycles per second. Then we come to alpha waves. Alpha waves are usually transmitted during mild states of meditation. These are present in a relaxed state of mind where we're passive, we're non-anxious and tensionless. So alpha rhythms are reported to be derived from the white matter of the brain. The white matter can be considered the part of the brain that connects all parts with each other. Alpha is a common state for the brain and occurs when a person is alert but not actively processing information. These waves are related to creativity and meditative states. So they have a frequency of 8 to 13 cycles per second. So slightly different to the beta waves. Theta waves are classed as slow activity. So it's seen in connection with creativity, intuition, daydreaming, and fantasizing, and it's a repository for memories, emotions, and sensations. Theta waves are strong during internal focus, meditation, prayer, and spiritual awareness. It reflects a state between wakefulness and sleep and relates to the subconscious mind. They're associated with the unconscious mind and occur when deep unconscious data comes into the conscious awareness. So children often emit this type of wave during a waking state. However, it's much rarer to happen in adults in that waking state. So waves here have a frequency of 4 to 7 cycles per second. So when we go through meditations that we'll cover through the rest of this podcast, this is where we find ourselves in the theta state. Delta waves are the lowest frequencies. These are related to deep, dreamless sleep. We increase delta waves in order to decrease our awareness of the physical world. We also access information in our unconscious mind through delta. Peak performers decrease delta waves when high focus and peak performance are required. It is believed that in this state we can absorb knowledge into the unconscious mind by bypassing our sense organs. Delta waves have a frequency of 0.5 to 4 cycles per second, so they tend to be the slowest waves. I mean, this is all great, but how does understanding biofeedback actually help us to meditate? Well, by being aware of our brainwave activity at any given time, and we can take conscious steps to change the wave pattern to the desired state. Although it's not as simple as changing your mind like the click of your fingers, it takes substantial practice and persistent effort. So just like when you first learned to walk and when you first learned to talk. Research has shown us that all body processes can be controlled, even the so-called automatic or vegetative functions such as heartbeat, respiration, and things like that. This is something that yogis have been doing for thousands of years, yet it's only in recent years that this has been taken seriously by modern science. Scientific tests have shown that the heart and other organs can be slowed down or sped up, and this can be done by mere willpower. So to be able to change our states of being, first we must become aware of these states in our everyday lives and how and when they change. And as they say, consistency is key.